to get that Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was a life-altering experience for me, because I want to tell you a little bit about the story about how it happened. 4 years ago, markets are crashing, we're in terrible shape. People are talking about what kind of rules we're going to make coming out on the other side, which is what's really critical. And they're all talking about changes in rules around derivatives or capital reserve requirements, all very important. But I started walking around saying, what about what happens down at the family level, at the household level? Because never forget, this economy was broken one lousy mortgage at a time. We live in a world now, I was saying, where credit card companies have built their whole profit models on pretending to sell something at 2.9%, and it's only back in the fine print that you figure out it's really 22.9%. If we don't make some changes, if we don't level that playing field between the customer and the giant bank, then we're just inviting this problem to come back again and again and again. So people said to me, okay, so what's your idea? And I said, well, just so happens I do have an idea for this. Don't ask, you'll hear it. And that is a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So idea, 18 federal statutes administered by 7 different agencies. You bring them all to one place and you actually get a real voice for families in Washington. So I went around Washington and talked to everybody I could talk to about this. Talked to a lot of our friends. And they said 2 things to me. The first thing they said to me is, this is a great idea. You could actually make a difference in the lives of millions of families who are getting ripped off, who are getting cheated, young people who are starting out deep, deep in debt. Said you could make a big difference here. The second thing they said to me is, don't do it. Now, the don't do it was because you can't do it. And that was the basic argument. They said, Washington really, come on, works for the lobbyists. And the biggest banks will assemble the largest lobbying force ever seen on the face of this earth. They will make it a #1 priority to kill this consumer agency. So don't even try, because you can't do it. Now, I heard that in my inexperienced way as, try harder, I had grown up on too many Nancy Drew novels or something, intrepid girl investigators. So I thought, how do you do something when all the money and all the power is on the other side? And the answer is, you get organized. So I thought, great, we'll get organized. I set up a conference call. First conference call I did on this had 2 people on it, which I think legally does not qualify as a conference call. But the second had 4, and the third had 10, and then it hit me, the groups. And I always say, God bless AFL-CIO, SEIU, AARP, Consumers Union. They said, we will be part of this. We had, by the end, more than 200 groups and email lists for literally tens of thousands of people. So when the moment came to kill the consumer agency, we were ready. We were active, we were out there, and we fought back. What we insisted on, they were going to kill it without a vote. They were just going to make this happen, no fingerprints. We were out there pushing for a vote. We said you could vote for banks, or you could vote for families. Some objected to that framing, but I thought it was entirely appropriate. But you got to give us a public vote. And when they had to give us a public vote, there were enough people there who took a vote for American families. And that's how we got the consumer agency. Yes, and it is a great story. So I tell that story because I think there are a couple of important things to take away from it. And it explains very much why I'm in this race. The first one is, you really can do good things. It is possible to go to Washington and do the people's business. So when someone is discouraged and someone says nothing works and someone says it doesn't matter, just look back at them and say, really? How do we get a consumer agency just in 2010, that recently? Because it really means we can get out there and we can make a difference. But the second thing I take away from this is the importance of being organized, of all of us working together, so many people saying, I am part of this. Not, yeah, it's a good thing and I hope it works out, but I will get up and I will do something to make this happen. That's how we got a consumer agency, and that's how I got pulled in ultimately to this Senate race. I am here because I believe that this is a moment in history by which we will be judged. Our country is at great risk at this moment. This is up to us, what we will do in this election right here in Massachusetts. We have the chance to send a strong voice to Washington. We have the chance to send a fighter to Washington. Yes. But the way it works is all of us doing this together. So I'm here today to say how grateful I am that you are here, but I know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the activists. I'm talking to the people who get out there and make it happen. And they make it happen not in a place where it's easy to make it happen. They make it happen in a place where it needs to happen. So I'm here today to say to you, I'll be out there from before the sun comes up in the morning until long after it goes down at night, fighting every day in this election, fighting for America's families, fighting to expand opportunity in this country, fighting for a real future for this country. But what I'm counting on is I'm not doing this alone. I'm counting on the fact that you will be there every single day fighting right alongside. That's how we're going to make real change in this Commonwealth and in this country. Thank you.